Alright, well I hope this is recording well. So that was another one of those 1 minute run, 1 minute jog things, or you know, they could be 1 minute run, 1 minute walk things, but I always jog. So I got my about a mile warm up with walking out to where I start running, and I got my little bit of a cool down afterwards, walking more than a mile back home. Runkeeper kind of let me down this morning. I started it and then for some reason it just paused. I've really got to make sure that thing's running, but I prefer putting my phone in my backpack, so that delays things. But yeah, another run completed, and now I've got to go home. I've absolutely got to do that gym stuff, even though I'm not feeling it. I think I overdid it when I set up my new max press-ups and sit-ups. I don't think it was too wise to, you know, blow the record out the park, but yeah, it's on both of them. It's getting further towards the 40 in a minute, and I've already done okay on the 1.5 mile run, so I'm feeling secure in my fitness. So yeah, a lot of good suggestions from yesterday's video that I've seen. I really appreciate all the comments that I get, and I try to reply to every one of them at least within a couple of days. So thank you to Zoo Echoes, who definitely said, you know, it might be interesting to see what a Brexit or a UK prepper might go for. And I think you're right. So I'm going to have a think about what I want to keep as a minimum in the house. I want to run down my other supplies and think about storage. Just coincides with me tidying up my kitchen. So yeah, it's all going well. Especially with Brexit looming. You know, even if all you do is you buy food now, you're going to stop some serious panic buying. And it might be an idea to add a prepping video to the Urban Agoge. Give that some thought, like you know, we go with something doable like $5 or €5 or £5 a month, a week rather, and I'll put £5 worth of food a week into my larder, or into my emergency supplies. So yeah, it's all good. Okay, so the thing I wanted to just talk about briefly this morning, I don't think it's going to be a hugely long video, given that I'm bound to be interrupted on the walk back, because it's 8:45. I'll be back home by 9. I'll get this video up and then I'll do the fitness thing. I rewatched Sherlock, the up to the, you know, the sort of modern day Sherlock Holmes TV series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, among other people, because I kind of like the, you know, it kind of plugs into my Nietzschean ideals. Let's turn that around. In that I think, you know, I really do think that you can be, let's tilt that up. You can be, oh, let's stop this. A load of crap on the lens, I'm sure you won't mind. A bit of breaking the fourth wall. But yeah, I'm kind of into the Sherlock Holmes thing, and I was looking into it. And then I listened to the audiobooks of the Railway Stories, and I'll probably be finding audiobooks of all the other Sherlock Holmes stories, see if I can find a complete set. And although, you know, it's a conceit, you know, this idea that somebody would have such perfect recall and somebody would be able to put pieces and clues together and stuff in order to solve a mystery. But a lot of the Sherlock Holmes stuff, I mean, it's not a Superman, but a lot of the Sherlock Holmes stuff is just observation. It's sort of like, if it's almost, it's a thing that that modern day police use, detectives use it all the time. You know, this idea of, is that a salient piece of information? So yeah, I was particularly struck. I need to change the settings. That should do it. Bang it on my favourite setting, all follow. So yeah. So you think about Sherlock Holmes and you think, right, okay, this is someone that literally in their mind writes down every new piece of information and then comes back at that piece of information with Occam's razor. Which is interesting. You know, just comes it from a, you know, to sort of like a completely different angle. Now, if you could train your mind to do that, you know, to sort of like in the middle of a problem and put it down like in the middle of a virtual room and then come at that statement or that mission or the problem from a different direction, or as many different directions as you can, you'll probably find that you'll solve that problem. Ooh. So yeah. And then I got to thinking about the TV Sherlock Holmes thing. They mentioned this thing called Sherlock's Memory Palace. And I need to do some research into how that works. Because I would love to be able to remember certain things. You know, and I've got very poor numerical and syntax memory. So like if I sit down and I try and code something for, say, an Arduino or something in Python, it's essentially the same thing, then I can do it. I'm easily smart enough to write lines and lines of code to do something specific. And I learn things about the structure and context while I'm writing the code, but if I don't write the code for a couple of days, I forget all about the syntax, which is bloody annoying. So yeah, if I could construct a memory palace, and in that, or a memory bunker, and in that have various themed rooms where I can remember stuff, like I can visually see post-it notes, that would be really handy. So I'm going to do some research on that, this idea of memory palaces, or the memory maps, and all the things that we do, all the different names it's been given, because it has been used. It's another one of those things that it's another one of those things that wealthy and powerful people have used, you know, to be able to remember stuff. So I think that might be the next piece of philosophical evolution. I'm slowly getting into this thing where I try and tidy up slightly more than the mess I make every day, and that seems to be working. Yeah, like all things, like all projects, it's the self-discipline, and I think the key thing about what I've been doing is, you know, reinforcing habits. So I'm generally out of the house by 8 o'clock doing something. Then there's a video and it's uploaded. And yeah, so I'm always achieving more stuff. This is mucking about seriously. It's starting to bother me now. So yeah. So that's going to be what I'm researching. I didn't get to do much research yesterday because I was doing stuff. I was looking into upgrading my desktop PC to make it a better editing machine. And my personal white whale of tidiness, my studio, which has been haunting me for about a year, just through, you know, the inability to get up and attack a big project. So yeah, got some rooms in my house I want to get tidied. want to get my bedroom decorated so it's a room for sleeping in and nothing else. I want to tidy up my lounge and kitchen, all sorts of things.